Hi everyone,
Hey everyone.
welcome back. Today we're going to talk about dehydration while traveling, especially here in Ecuador. I just want to give you a little bit of an update with me on my health. I about a week or so ago, I felt really bad. I had a bad headache, which led to having a migraine, and I had that for about 2 or 3 days, and I just couldn't shake the headache. Just so you know, I have hypertension and I take blood pressure medicine. So with the headache, I was thinking maybe my blood pressure was up. So I checked my blood pressure. It was elevated, but it hadn't been elevated while we were in Guayaquil. I didn't experience, I didn't understand, and I was thinking maybe from all the eating out we were doing, because a lot of the food is has a lot of sodium in it, and so I thought maybe my sodium intake was pretty high, and I was looking online like I always do. Um, I'm a little hypochondriac, according to Steve. I research everything, try to figure out what's going on with me, and um, it got to a point where I started feeling fatigue. I couldn't get out of bed. I just didn't feel like myself. And so I was telling Steve I need to um, go to the doctor, find a doctor so I can get checked, see what's going on with my blood pressure. Can you speak on, like how I felt during that time other than
Yeah, she was just bad headache and dealing with blood pressure issues. It's she can get like that sometimes where she can't really operate and nothing seems to really help.
but the migraine is what had me.
Yeah, the migraine is what
I
kind of
mean, I
took you
couldn't
down.
even get out of bed. It was like the light, the noise.
Yeah.
I just want to stay in the bed. And so I was able to get a doctor's appointment, and we went to the doctor. He checked my blood pressure. It was up, and he suggested that I need to increase my blood pressure medicine. And so we did. I changed my blood pressure medicine. I was taking a, however, the headache kept coming back.
Right, with the new medication.
Yeah, with the new
Right.
medication. And so I spoke to a friend here that we met here in Ecuador, and she suggested I possibly was dehydrated. And, being in Ecuador, we walk a lot. And in my mind, I thought I was drinking enough because, in Guayaquil, I was just sweating
We were guzzling water.
and drinking a lot of water. But here it's cool, nice, and I guess I let that get the best of me and not realize that my water intake was pretty low. She suggested that I drink Hydro Plus. It's similar to Pedialyte, and if you can, I think there's Gatorade here too. And technically, she was saying that I need to drink at least 2 liters or more of water a day, just because of the UV rays, and because the UV rays are really high here.
Yeah, even when it's cloudy, it's really high.
And so we do a lot of walking, and in my mind, I don't feel dehydrated. But once I got the Hydro Plus and I was drinking more water, the headache went away. So I was highly dehydrated, but not to a point where it dropped my blood pressure. Because if you're severely dehydrated, it will drop your blood pressure, according to what I read on healthline.com. There are some, these are some symptoms of dehydration. You will feel fatigue, you have a headache, your sleep pattern changes where you don't sleep comfortably through the night. Your urine will be darker, you may not go as often, and it's possible you may have dry mouth. There are some other symptoms that you can't find online if you look at Mayo Clinic or Healthline. Even MedHelp kind of know that's exactly what was going on, because The dehydration caused me to have the headache. The headache went into a migraine. The migraine, because I was in so much pain, caused my blood pressure to go up. So all of those things was associated with how I felt and why I wasn't feeling well. Those few days that had me down where I could not do a lot of anything. I wasn't cooking.
Yeah.
He had to start cooking. I just didn't feel up to it.
And assuming that it was blood pressure, you know, bland meals.
Yes.
To try to help, with the sodium intake and everything. On that note, though, the visit to the doctor was still worth it.
Yeah, it was.
Just the experience of us, finally visiting a doctor here, something we learned a lot. Just making an appointment, finding a doctor, and just that whole experience. It's a lot different than it is in the U.S.
It's very different, because normally in the U.S. you got to call the doctor's office, you got to speak to the front desk, they got to check and see when the doctor has an appointment, and the appointment could be a week out, it could be a month out, depending on, especially if it's a specialist. And here I just had a WhatsApp number. I sent the doctor a message. He set up an appointment for me the next day, which was awesome, because I could have went that day, but unfortunately it was too late to contact our taxi driver. So he was able to get me in the next day. And going to the doctors here, I can see why some of it, the things are inexpensive. The cost can be inexpensive because they don't have the lobby, a huge lobby, and this huge overhead cost.
There's no extras, no frills.
No frills.
No
you go
receptionist.
into what you need to be seen for. You walk in, the doctor is there, you sit down, you have a conversation with the doctor, he examines you, and then takes it from there, and then suggests, okay, here, because he did suggest I get lab work, and you go to another, I went to another facility, location, and walked straight in, did the test, did the lab work, came out. The cost here is
just very affordable.
Very affordable.
Very affordable.
Very affordable. And afterwards, just so you know, afterwards, when I came back and I was like, my blood pressure was still kind of high, and I reached out to him and I said, I'm still experiencing the blood pressure being high. And then he was like, try to relax, try not to stress over it, continue to take your meds, and coupled with drinking Hydro Plus, drinking more water, taking the sodium out of my diet, it dropped immediately to being normal and no headache.
Here on the coast where we are, it's more of a desert climate, so it's, even when it's not hot, it's still fairly dry, and you'll evaporate moisture from your body, and being that it's not hot, you're not sweating, so you're not realizing how much water you're really losing.
Right.
So you just got to stay hydrated. You got to drink water just as much as you were when it was hot outside.
Yeah, so I suggest, if you're doing a lot of walking, take a bottle of water with you just to drink along the way. If you out there and you forget to bring a bottle of water, purchase a bottle of water wherever you are.
Catch the coconut guy. There's always a coconut guy.
Always a coconut guy.
There's always a coconut guy. And this is a great way to get hydrated.
Stay hydrated. If I don't stress that enough, stay hydrated. Yeah. Because if you're not hydrated and you become severely dehydrated, your blood pressure drops. You can pass out. You can, have a heat stroke. So just be conscious and stay hydrated. Yep. I can't stress that enough, because it was very worrisome,
yes.
to me, because that's just not who I am, and I haven't had a migraine in a long time.
Yeah.
So experiencing that every day, and just taking Excedrin, because I bought my Excedrin migraine pills with me, and as soon as I take it, it will subside, but it'll come back. in the next couple of hours. I'm like, this is just not right. I just don't understand. So just be aware, be conscious, stay hydrated. It's very important to be conscious of those things.
That's right.
And of course, he drinks water like, I don't know, which was
a lot.
You're like a fish over here. Every time I turn around, he's drinking water.
Yeah.
And if I follow his, with your regimen,
Right.
I probably wouldn't have been dehydrated. But it wasn't like I was drinking alcohol. No.
Right.
So don't get it confused.
She just wasn't drinking enough water.
I just wasn't drinking enough water. I will say I was drinking a lot of coffee, but I was drinking coffee while we was in Guayaquil as well.
Yeah, but in Guayaquil and even in Salinas here when we first got here, it was pretty warm. We were doing so much sweating that you were just guzzling water all the time.
But as soon as we got closer, where I guess when we got closer to Mexico and the weather changed, that's what it was. When the weather changed, my water intake slowed down because when it was hot when we first got here, I was drinking more because I was sweating.
And it's like a dramatic flip in the weather.
Yeah, as you can see,
it goes from being sunny and 80s, and since the UV is so strong, it seems like it's hotter than it really is. But you sweat a lot more, and then there's like a sudden flip. It was in April.
Yeah.
That the weather just kind of changed, where it's more cloudy days than sunny days, and it's cool.
Right. So at the end of May, it got cooler.
Yeah, it got really significantly cooler.
So we're in our winter months now, and you still can go out in t-shirts and shorts.
Oh yeah.
And you're just not sweating, so you feel cooler. You don't feel like you need to drink as much.
Yeah.
But
you're losing water. You're always losing water. So
just be mindful, stay hydrated. That's our tip, and that's what I wanted to update you all on. Just being careful to not get dehydrated, but keep that in the front of your mind, not the back of your mind, in the front of your mind, to stay hydrated while you're visiting countries that are near the equator.
Yeah. Or anywhere really dry.
Anywhere that's really dry, like Arizona. Yeah. So just be mindful, and hope this tip or this information is helpful to anyone here who may be experiencing dehydration and not aware of it. Please, please, please stay hydrated, drink plenty of water. And if you can't get the Hydro Plus, get the Gatorade, get coconut, or just buy coconut water.
Yeah. One side note, I just saw a whale.
What?
That was pretty cool. I did. So anyway.
Way out there?
Thanks for watching.
Oh, sorry.
Thanks for watching.
All right, bye.